We are in Georgia, ahead of parliamentary elections there, in a bid to understand why is this vote seen as so crucial for the country's future.
If we continue our political way like this, we're gonna become a part of Russia.
Many members of her generation say the current government is steering Georgia back towards Russia by exploiting fears of another war.
On October 26th, peace will triumph over war.
Can the opposition protect Georgia's EU aspirations?
Do we want prosperity in Europe or misery and isolation?
What's at stake for Georgia? Nanuka Mestvirishvili is 18 years old. She has put US study plans on ice to join an NGO in her home country, Georgia. Today, she's on the road informing people about upcoming parliamentary elections.
We are going to talk to people and tell them that this election is really important. I am a little bit afraid. And that's why we need to give people information about that. And we need to make them believe what we believe. We need to live in Europe.
She protested what's known as the Foreign Agent Bill, which critics say follows the Russian authoritarian example, suppressing critical voices.
No to the Russian law, yes to Europe.
According to polls, more than 80% of Georgians want to be part of the EU. Critics say the government wants them to be dragged back into Russia's orbit. Today, volunteers are heading to rural areas where people are much worse off and still unsure which way to vote. Nanuka believes state media deliberately misinforms the public to secure their votes and works to counter this influence.
In regions, there is not as much information as we have in capital. The propaganda works well, and sometimes disinformation spreads all around the regions. And we want to make sure that people in regions know the truth about what's going on in our country.
What issues are most Georgians concerned about? The fear of Russian troops on their territory. In 2008, Russia and Georgia waged war against each other. The fighting lasted 5 days on Georgian territory. As a result, Moscow recognized the independence of breakaway republics, Abkhazia and South Ossetia, regions that have been under Russian control ever since. The ruling party, Georgian Dream, is widely seen as pro-Russian. The government is fueling fears over a mysterious global war party with alleged plans to start a war in Georgia, a conspiracy theory. Although divided over many issues, the opposition is united in its commitment to continue Georgia's democratic path and join the EU. This area is known as the Zone of Fear, the border region between Georgia and South Ossetia. There is a Russian military base close by. Soldiers intimidate locals, and last year a villager was shot and killed along the occupation line. Are you afraid of Russians?
Yes. As if you're not scared.
I hate them.
I know you hate them, but you're scared too. You don't want them to kill you.
Goga and Misha were born in this refugee settlement near Gori, the biggest town close to the occupation line. The 5-day war forced their parents from breakaway South Ossetia, but they consider their real home to be their parents' village, a place they've never seen. Liana also settled here after fleeing the war. Russia's military presence is a constant reminder of her tragedy. After the invasion of Ukraine, the former teacher is afraid Russia could attack Georgia again. The ruling Georgian Dream is exploiting these fears by promising peace with Russia. The Georgian Dream calls for better relations with Russia.
Yes, they should be improved. What do you think? Does it make any sense to fight? Can such a small country fight a war?
The harvest season has begun. Elsa and Tsitsina own an apple farm and keep a close eye on political developments. Even if the ruling party claims it will bring Georgia into the EU fold, the farmers don't believe those intentions are genuine.
They're saying we're going to join the EU in 2030. Maybe other people believe it, but I don't.
What do you think they're up to?
I think they're actually moving closer to Russia.
Who do you want to be with, Europe or Russia?
Personally, I don't want to be with Russia. They brought us so much misery, killed so many people.
In fact, the EU has officially halted Georgian accession to the EU due to the contested foreign agent law. The ruling party's campaign posters are everywhere. They're actively campaigning even in the most remote villages, promising new jobs and improved infrastructure, like this local politician from the Georgian Dream party.
Everything will be done in stages. We've already done a lot and more is coming.
Do you know what it looks like here? If you want to come with me, I can show you how broken the irrigation system in our garden is.
Georgia is a neutral country, a peaceful state. We're trying to ensure that there is peace in the whole world and in Georgia.
Local politicians from the ruling party often present themselves as custodians who don't shy away from big league politics. Meanwhile, Nanuka has reached Zestaponi. Her first stop is the local market.
We are going to Bazari. There is our target audience. There are people who don't have really great financial circumstances. So we can talk to them and make them believe that if they vote, they can change their future.
The students are also handing out information about how Russia is endangering Georgia's democratic progress. Nanuka soon realizes how challenging it is to debunk some of the ruling party's narratives.
Here, you can read in this pamphlet what benefits we got from the EU and what Russia did to us.
All right, all right. What kind of a party is this pro-European thing?
I'm not campaigning for any specific parties. It's for any pro-European coalition.
See, the kid is being smart, not like you.
We don't want you to have to stand here behind the stall. We want you to get retirement money, so you can travel.
That won't happen for another 200 years.
I need energy because there are so many victims of propaganda.
But she does clock up a small success today.
She's gonna go to the election. She was in doubt, but after I told her that we need you to go to the election, she said, okay, if our young people need it, I'm gonna do that. And I'm really happy.
It seems that many people here have lost their faith in politics, but Nanuka keeps going. She's on the road all over the country for 3 weeks, until election day. Nanuka says it's a race against time.
He does not think that our future is in European Union.
Our next stop is the regional town of Rustavi, which is hosting a campaign rally for Ivanishvili, a former prime minister and oligarch accused by the opposition of having close ties with Russia. In 2011, he founded the Georgian Dream party, which has been in power for the past 12 years and consolidated control over the country's key institutions.
I guarantee that if you support the Georgian Dream in October, no one can drag Georgia into war.
Supporters include many public servants who attend the rally in organized groups. Observers say some are pressured to vote for the ruling party. In their speeches, Georgian Dream politicians threaten to ban the liberal opposition and often attack the West. But at the same time, their party's posters twinkle with the stars of the EU flag. This is intended to reassure voters of its pro-European cause, a contradictory promise. This party will lead you to Europe?
Yes, it will indeed.
Even though Brussels has halted the EU integration process?
No one can stop it, believe me.
Back in Tbilisi, Nanuka Mestvirishvili says she is afraid Georgia may fall under Moscow's influence if the ruling party stays in power. For her, freedom and genuine peace, not one that is dictated from above, are only possible with strong ties to the democratic West.
If we continue our political way like this, we are gonna become a part of Russia without even war. And why our ancestors fight it so hard for our freedom? We need to ask this question to ourselves.
Nanuka is concerned at levels of government corruption. She says officials care only about their own financial well-being and political survival, and not about the health of the country's democracy.
I don't think that they're gonna win. I don't want to give up. After that, I'm thinking of the ways how can I fight. I mean, I want a better future, and I'm just not gonna let them to take this away from me. I want a better country for me and also for everyone around me. They want a country for only themselves, and it's not right.
To encourage each other, the volunteers sing the EU anthem in Georgian. After the election, Nanuka will finally be going to study in the US. She hopes that the fate of her country won't be gambled away in the vote, because she wants to come back.